hired David Henning with Parker Bark Productions to be my videographer, and he's very nice and very professional. So he had a gig this evening, and so I knew, like, come after 3 o'clock, quickly after my show was done, that he would have to leave. So we would get just a little bit of like post-show stuff. But since they postponed my time and delayed my time by an hour, it was really hard to get any of that material. So I actually didn't have a lot of the show recorded. But we do have interview material and kind of B-roll stuff. So you will see that later on. I am also planning a CD release party, and I'm shooting for like mid-October at the Mercury Cafe. So we will have more kind of promotional marketing, material for you guys, and it'll work itself out. Even with all those little hiccups, it was a good show. And it was a good show because I was so well prepared. And all of my gear worked out, so I bought like really expensive wireless headset and a new pack, and just everything worked perfectly in terms of like on my end, and I had a guy who was kind of like doing sound check for me. So that was kind of like the nice thing, was that everything in terms of music and sound and everything worked out. So there were a lot of kids who kind of like came in and out, but it was hard to kind of congregate them all because they're all kind of spread out throughout the children's village. But despite that, it was a good show. I didn't need my lyric sheets, because I think by the time I got on stage and I was just like, I'm so hot, I just kind of like want to get through it. There was even a moment when I was performing that I really felt like a sense of calm, like this is a good rehearsal for something bigger and better. And most of my shows have been house concerts at my house, because I was like, I really don't want to like schlep my stuff around town, and now I see why. It's actually really hard to do, even though I had like a little table and just my laptop. I think just the logistics of today's show were tough. But there was a really nice guy who was a runner at the Rise Music Festival, who picked me and my mom and my son up and hauled our gear back to my car, which we would have really struggled with at the end. So that was something that was really good. And he's incredibly nice and very kind and incredibly polite, so thank you to whoever that guy was. So I had this moment when I was performing where I just felt this huge sense of relief. Like I had no butterflies, I had no nerves. Sometimes when I'm doing like an open mic, I get like a little nervous, and you can hear it in my voice. It's kind of wavering, and I had none of that today. That's how comfortable I felt. So it was a good show, and people clapped who were there. It was nice. One of the things you don't rehearse when you're just kind of like in front of your family, or you're in your room, or your little studio and you're rehearsing, is audience engagement. And because there wasn't a ton of audience kind of like just grouped right in front of me, in front of the stage, it was in some ways tough, and in some ways it was really easy because I could kind of focus on my performance, what I was singing. And when people would come in, like when I'm singing A Perfect Blue, I'm like, tell me what things are blue around you. And I would point to like someone's shirt or someone's hat, or they had these like colored streamers kind of all throughout the dome that I was singing under. And so, oh, these streamers are blue. So that kind of stuff was really helpful. Another thing was this mother and little girl came in, and they were wearing the same like iridescent like bikini top, and it was so cute. And so at the end, I think I was singing Shake Your Rump, which was my last song, to kind of energize the audience. And this little girl was like singing and dancing and playing on her recorder, and I was able to really engage with the audience, which I thought was really helpful in terms of like, there's not a lot of people here, but the people who are here, I can ask them, how's your summer going? Are you ready for school? Are you, and I showed people how to do the sign language. So, I showed them how to do X. So take your pointer finger and you hook it. This is the letter X. Y is your pointer, your thumb, and your pinky finger out. So I showed people how to do the American Sign Language and the signs for some of the songs, like song, sing, music. We did this one for listen. This is all kind of interspersed between different songs. And no P's and B's, I showed the letter P, explained the letter B, and I got adults and some of the kids to like interact with me, and they were like, this is great. And people really kind of like figured out how to do the songs, like this is a song with no sh and sh, or this is a song with no P and B. So people kind of figured that out pretty quickly, and that was surprising and nice. So I did my whole set, and I sang for about an hour. It was great. That was really good, and it was a huge relief to be done and know that I didn't have any real pitch issues. I didn't really have any places where I forgot lyrics. Like, I didn't forget lyrics. Sometimes my brain and my mouth didn't coordinate on one or two places, but really I couldn't have asked for a better show.